if you have to guess whether she likes you and she doesn't. Let that sink in for a second. Men have been conditioned to chase, to persist, to believe in some twisted fairy tale that if you just try hard enough, you'll eventually win her over. No, bro, this isn't a movie. This is real life. And in real life, if a woman is not interested in you, she's not going to say it directly, but she will show it in ways that are loud, clear, and sometimes even humiliating if you're paying attention. But here's the kicker: most men aren't. Most men refuse to see the signs because they're too busy romanticizing rejection and calling it the chase. What you're calling mixed signals is just her being polite because society told her not to crush your ego too fast. Let's be honest, women are masters of indirect communication. It's not that they're hiding anything, they just don't want to deal with the drama of telling a man to his face, "I'm not feeling you." And that's fair. But it also means it's your job to read between the lines, recognize when you're being tolerated rather than appreciated, and most importantly, walk away with your dignity intact. Because here's the uncomfortable truth no one tells you: chasing a woman who has no interest in you doesn't make you persistent, it makes you invisible. Every text you send, every plan you try to make, every time you check in just to keep the conversation alive, if she's not into you, all she sees is a man who doesn't get it. This video is going to slap some reality into your perspective. No sugarcoating, no fake confidence talk, and no just be yourself nonsense. We're talking signs. The real, raw, overlooked behaviors that scream, "I'm not into you." So if you're ready to stop wasting your time and start moving smarter, lock in. 1, she's always busy. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Nobody is that busy. When a woman is into you, she finds ways to make time. She'll reschedule, stay up late, skip things just to talk to you. But when she's not interested, suddenly her schedule is full 24/7. Work, friends, errands, her dog's birthday. There's always something. You suggest a meetup? She hits you with, "I'll let you know." You text her? She replies 3 days later with, "Sorry, been so busy." Here's the truth: busy is just a polite version of "you're not a priority." Simple. A woman who wants you will want to be around you. She'll find pockets of time. She'll text you back during her lunch break. She'll make the effort. But if every conversation is just you trying to squeeze into her life, you're not in the picture. You're just on the waiting list. Stop trying to force your way onto her calendar. If she wanted to see you, she would. 2, her replies are cold and delayed. Let's not act confused. You feel it in her messages. When she likes you, her texts come fast, playful, even a little flirty. But when she's not into you, her replies feel like she's doing chores. You send a paragraph, she replies, "Lol." You ask a question, she answers with zero energy, like she's filling out a job application. And don't miss this: the delay is not because she's thinking, it's because she doesn't care. She saw your message, probably sighed, and put the phone down. That's the vibe. Now you're stuck over analyzing. Did I say something wrong? No, you just said it to the wrong person. A woman who's interested won't leave you guessing. Her messages will have life in them. She'll keep the conversation going even if it's silly. She'll respond like she wants to talk, and because she does. But if you're the only one carrying the conversation, bro, it's not a convo. It's you texting a wall. Wake up. 3, she never initiates contact. Let's be real. If you didn't text her first, would you two ever talk? That silence you feel when you don't reach out? That's your answer. Men need to stop confusing silence with mystery. She's not playing hard to get. She's just not playing at all. She doesn't check in. She doesn't ask how your day is going. She doesn't send those random hey messages just to get your attention. Nothing. You've built a one-sided connection, and the crazy part, you know it. Deep down, you've started to feel like a beggar, reaching out, waiting, hoping. And every time you get no reply or a dry, "Hey," a piece of you dies inside. But you keep doing it. Why? Because you've convinced yourself that maybe she's just shy or busy or unsure. No, bro, she's just uninterested. When a woman feels something for you, it shows, even in the smallest ways. She'll reach out. She'll ask things. She'll want to be in your world. If you're always the one pressing send first, That's not interest. That's you trying to breathe life into something that's already flatlined. Let's stop calling it bad communication. Let's call it what it is: lack of interest. Four, you're always the backup plan. Here's the truth most men don't want to admit: you're not her first choice, you're her just in case. She hits you up only when she's bored, lonely, or her plans fall through. She never includes you in her real life, just in her free time, when it's convenient, when no one else is available. And you keep accepting it. Why? Because you're scared to walk away, scared that maybe being her second choice is better than being no choice at all. You don't want to lose the little attention you're getting, even if it's crumbs. But ask yourself this: when did you become okay with being an option, not a priority? This is where the criticism comes in, Nessa's. And yeah, it might sting. Too many men have trained themselves to accept emotional leftovers. You've convinced yourself that being patient, being there for her, will eventually earn you a real shot. No, that's not loyalty. That's self sabotage. You're not being noble. You're being used. You deserve someone who chooses you first, not someone who settles for you when nothing better comes along. So wake up. Stop trying to fit into her schedule. Start recognizing your own worth. You're not a placeholder. The longer you stay in that position, the harder it'll be to respect yourself. Five, she talks about other men. Listen closely. When a woman constantly brings up other guys around you, that's not by accident. That's intentional. She talks about her guy friend, her ex, her coworker who's so funny, or the random guy who DM'd her yesterday. She gives you all the details you don't want to hear. And what do? You sit there and pretend you're okay with it, smiling through the pain, acting unbothered. But deep down, you feel it. You know exactly what she's doing. She's showing you, acting without saying it, that her attention is already somewhere else, that other men are on her radar, not you. Now let's be real. Women don't do this to men they're seriously attracted to. If a woman wants you, she's not going to risk turning you off by bringing up other guys. She keeps the focus on you. But if she's constantly shifting the spotlight to someone else, that's her way of telling you you're not in the running. And here's the worst part: you tolerate it. You let her vent, you listen like a therapist, hoping it'll bring you closer. But all it's doing is turning you into a safe space she'll never respect romantically. If she's always talking about other men, stop asking yourself what they have that you don't. Start asking why you're still sitting there listening. Six, she avoids physical closeness. Let's not play dumb. You feel the distance. She leans away when you lean in. She jokes when you try to compliment her. If you sit close, she shifts. If you touch her even lightly, a hug, a tap on the arm, she stiffens, pulls back, or quickly changes the subject. That's not shyness. That's disinterest. When a woman is into you, physical energy builds naturally. She won't flinch at your touch, she'll welcome it. She'll close the space, not create it. She'll find little ways to connect, even if it's subtle. But if every time you're near her, she moves like you're invading her personal bubble, that's not a misread. That's your body getting the message your ego refuses to hear. And this is where men mess up, thinking they just need to be more patient, more respectful, or give her time. No. What you need to do is recognize the difference between boundaries and avoidance. Respecting boundaries is good, but ignoring obvious signs of disconnection? That's just being in denial. If she consistently avoids closeness, then she's already made her decision. You're not the guy she wants to be close to. 7. You feel like you're begging for attention. This is the part that hurts the most, because it's the part you already know. You're constantly checking your phone, waiting for a reply. You reread old messages just to feel like there's something still there. You try harder, message more, stay available, just to get a reaction, just to feel seen. You're not flirting anymore. You're pleading. You're not pursuing. You're chasing a ghost. And somewhere deep inside, you know it. You feel the imbalance. You know you're doing too much, but you can't stop because you've tied your self-worth to her attention. And every time she pulls away, you chase even harder, thinking this time she'll notice. But here's the reality. Attention shouldn't feel like a reward you have to fight for. It shouldn't feel like survival. If you constantly feel like you're being ignored, brushed off, or half noticed, then you're not in a connection. You're in a one man performance. A woman who truly likes you will make it easy to feel acknowledged. She'll meet you halfway. She'll respond with energy. She'll want to make you feel wanted because that's what real interest looks like. But if every interaction leaves you feeling empty, drained, or low key embarrassed, that's not love. That's your pride being worn down slowly. And if you keep begging for crumbs, don't be surprised when she never offers the whole meal. 8. She flirts with everyone except you. This one's brutal because it's so obvious yet so easy to deny. She's playful, charming, touchy, and full of energy. Just not with you. You watch her light up with other guys, laughing, teasing, throwing compliments like candy. But when it's your turn, flat tone, neutral vibe, friend zone energy. You tell yourself, she's just comfortable around me. No, she's just not interested. When a woman flirts, she's signaling attraction. And when she doesn't flirt with you while doing it with everyone else, she's signaling that you're not in that category. The worst part? She knows you see it. She knows you're watching. But she's not worried. Because in her mind, you're harmless. You're safe. You're that cool guy she doesn't have to impress. Because there's nothing to pursue. It's not that she's a bad person. She's just showing you, clearly, that whatever energy you're giving, she's not matching. Not romantically, not emotionally, definitely not physically. So while you're reading deep into every moment, every small smile, every tiny interaction, she's out here giving real signals to guys she actually wants. Read the room. Don't be the one she ignores while she flirts with the entire crowd. 9. She doesn't ask you questions. Conversations feel one-sided, don't they? You ask how her day went, she answers. You ask about her interests, her goals, her weekend, she answers. But does she ever flip it back to you? Does she ever ask, what about you? Does she even seem curious? If the answer is no, stop fooling yourself. When a woman's interested, she wants to know you, not just the surface stuff. She wants to understand how you think, how you live, what makes you tick. She'll ask, she'll dig deeper. She'll remember the little things you say because she cares. But if every conversation feels like an interview you're conducting and she's just coasting through with short replies, that's not interest. That's politeness. And here's where men go wrong. They think silence is just shyness. They think if they ask more questions, maybe she'll open up. No, you're not getting quiet mystery. You're getting disconnection. People ask questions when they're invested. If she's not asking you anything, she's not invested. Period. You deserve someone who's curious about you, who listens and asks because they want to. If you're the only one keeping the energy alive, that's not chemistry. That's labor. 10. You always have to prove your worth. You're constantly performing, trying to impress, trying to be good enough, trying to stand out. You buy the gifts. You compliment her endlessly. You offer help before she even asks. You show up, stay late, give her attention on demand, but somehow it's still not enough. Why? Because when a woman's not into you, no amount of effort will ever flip that switch. You feel like you're in a silent competition with other guys, with her ex, with her standards that keep shifting. And every time you think you've done something right, she moves the goalpost. Nothing feels appreciated. You're working overtime just to stay on her radar. Let's call it what it is, a performance trap. You're not being yourself. You're being a version of you that you hope she'll finally approve of. But here's the hard truth. When a woman likes you, you don't have to convince her. You don't have to audition. You don't have to earn her interest like it's a prize. If you always feel like you're trying to measure up, chances are you're not even in the race. You're just hanging around, hoping she finally sees your value. When the real value is walking away from someone who doesn't. Stop trying to prove your worth to someone who already decided they're not interested. Start showing that worth by choosing yourself. If she's not choosing you, she's already chosen someone else. And it's not your job to wait for her to change her mind. Men, too many of you are waiting on signals that will never come, chasing validation from women who decided long ago that you're not it. And every second you spend hoping she'll finally notice you is a second wasted not building with someone who actually would. So here's what I want from you. Drop a comment. Let me know. Have you experienced any of these signs? Which one hit the hardest? Let's talk. I'll be in the comments responding, connecting, and calling it how it is. Because this isn't just a video, it's a reality check. And if this hit home, don't just watch and wake up. We move differently from now on.